Hello, me lovelies. I'd just like to discuss this recent bit of drama between the podcaster Decca Heggie and Paddy Conroy, where Paddy Conroy now wants nothing to do with Decca Heggie, and Decca Heggie wants nothing to do with Paddy Conroy, following on from a live that Decca did, where Sean Atwood was acting as a sort of like go between Decca Heggie and Steve Wraith, who don't get on. And Decca Heggie has accused Steve Wraith of spreading malicious rumours about him. And so it's tried to get them talking again and tried to source out the differences. But during that live, of course, one person's name came up, and that was Paddy Conroy, because Steve Wraith has issues with Paddy Conroy, and vice versa. Paddy Conroy has issues with Steve Wraith. I'll give you the background to it. I don't know much about Paddy Conroy other than what I've heard about people make some very serious allegations against him. He's done lie detector tests. This one's done lie detector tests. There's lie detector tests going out everywhere. But Paddy Conroy reported and had Sayers, Stephen Sayers, is it, arrested for malicious communications. And it all sort of blew up around all this business. Now, I've never had any communication with Paddy Conroy. I had communication with someone close to him, unwanted communication, where they took great offence to what I said about Princess Diana having been an ordinary human being with the faults of a human being, and that for some reason this person has serious issues, went absolutely ballistic, and I was getting death threats off them, all kinds of threats. So that's the only communication I've had. Decca Heggie, I think he's a good podcaster when he's not doing the talking. He can be annoying when he's talking because he sucks his teeth. And he also insists on telling you what a wonderful person he is. Where really it's best to let other people decide whether you're a wonderful person or not. Anyway, he did this podcast between himself and Steve Wraith, with Sean Atwood acting like a sort of mediator. And it was tried to get them talking a bit again because Steve Wraith has said things about Decca Heggie. And Decca Heggie feels that he was involved in the trolling he got and the abuse he got. But during this, he turned, and I don't know whether I've clarified, Paddy Conroy has issues with Steve Wraith and vice versa. Paddy Conroy says Steve Wraith accused him of being someone not safe around children, which, unless people you've got positive proof about that, please don't say that about people. It's the most horrific thing you can say about anyone. Now, anyway, sometime during this live, Decca Heggie made the suggestion that Stephen Sayers and Paddy Conroy should get together and try to sort the difference out on his podcast, on his live Decca Heggie's podcast.
This is a call for Stephen Sayers and Paddy Conroy to come on the official All or Nothing podcast to try and sort your differences.
Well, immediately when I heard that, I thought, oh, that is not a good thing to have done. That is not a good thing to have done. And I'll tell you why it's not a good thing to have done. Paddy Conroy had Stephen Sayers arrested for malicious communications, whatever. Now, the two of them are not friendly by any means. But Decca Heggie claims to be a good friend and loyal supporter of Paddy Conroy. Get that? A good friend. He's the one that's interviewed him when no one else would. Now, I don't know why no one else will. I don't know all the goings on behind it. Let them get on with it, as I say. It's got that side of it's got nothing to do with me and doesn't interest me. But straight away, because this has happened to me, and I think most people can see this, when they have someone that's a friend that decides they want to act as peace broker between someone that you don't like or don't get on with. Please, people, never do that because it can destroy your friendship, which has happened. And I tell you why I have sympathy with Paddy Conroy here. It's because Paddy Conroy not only had to face his friend Decca Heggie, and it's Decca who kept on going on. He was a supporter of Paddy Conroy. He liked Paddy Conroy. Blah 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 blah. He was going to support him when no one else would. He had to watch him on a podcast with Steve Wraith and Sean Atwood, both of who Paddy Conroy doesn't like and has issues with. Right or wrong, I don't know. But to hear him actually say on the same podcast, oh, I want to get you together with the person he really dislikes, Stephen Sayers, it's not going to go down well. Why didn't Decca Heggie phone up or contact his good friend and say, look, I'm planning this, would you agree to it? Why do it publicly? Because that puts Paddy Conroy in the position, and it also puts Stephen Sayers in the position, if one of them say, no, I'm not going to do this, makes them open to the allegation of being unreasonable and nasty people. Do you see what I'm saying? Now I don't know any of these characters, Stephen Sayers or Paddy Conroy. I don't know who's right and wrong. I don't know. But all that I know is I'm looking at this from the viewpoint of Paddy Conroy and his proclaimed friend doing that to him publicly. It's just not the done thing, people. If you ever want to act as peace broker, you might have good intentions. Decca Heggie, I dare say, had all the good intentions of getting peace between these two. Go to the person and ask them, because that was done to me recently. And someone wanted to act as peace broker between me and someone I cannot stand. And there's no chance, I tell you now, it'll be a snowball's chance in hell before I ever start talking to this individual. It's not that I don't want peace with them, I just don't want them anywhere near me. I don't want any communication with them. They went way over a line, acceptable line. There's a line people have, we all have. And if someone crossed it, you know there's no going back. And that line was crossed. But I'll say this to Paddy Conroy. Also, this person that did this to me, I value his friendship. I really value his friendship. And there's nothing that is going to get between me and his friendship. And even though I was annoyed what happened, I'll let it go. And I've never discussed it, and I'm not going to discuss it publicly because I value his friendship. And that friendship could have been lost because I kicked off. I really kicked off when I found out what happened, and it could have ruined that friendship. Thankfully it hasn't, because there's no way I'm going to let that friendship go. So Paddy, think again and think, was Decca Heggie acting maliciously, or was he doing it out of goodness? Look, he says, and this is nothing going to point out about Decca. He tells you what a wonderful person he is. Leave that for other people to say it. Also, he's telling you he's not doing it for clicks. Oh, come on, Decca. Cough up. You are doing these things for clicks. You were practically having an orgasm when you had Darren G on there and you seen all the views going up. When you were doing the other one with Steve Wraith the other night, you were, oh, so many people in the room. It is for clicks you're doing it. You can just see cling, cling, cling. Be honest about it. Don't make out that you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You're loving the clicks. Nothing wrong with it. Admit it. But he's trying to make out that somehow, he's not interested. Get out of here. Get out of here. Of course you are interested in clicks. You're having orgasms when you see the numbers going up and your subs going up. So, but if the friendship is solid, just Paddy, give him a second chance. And Decca, go to him and apologise. Don't go on there giving your apology as in you're a wonderful person and because it's like saying because you're a nice, wonderful person, Paddy Conroy is unreasonable for not accepting what you say and being annoyed with you. Look, you put him on a spot that you shouldn't have. and put him in a position. He can't stand Stephen Sayers. Likewise, Stephen Sayers can't stand Paddy Conroy. You don't put either of them in the spot like that. If you want to act as peacemaker, peace broker, go to them privately and ask them. Don't suddenly put it out there. And as I say, maybe, hopefully you can get you, because you're supposed to be friends, get your friendship together and apologise to Paddy properly. And apologise to Steve Sayers as well. Because you dragged him into it. He most probably doesn't want to know about this as much as Paddy doesn't. But I just also discuss as people to say that please never do that to your friend. Value your friendships, right? And don't go ruin them by trying to act as peacemaker without telling the person that you're doing it. Because you can't lose that friendship. So I just thought I'd leave it at that, my lovelies. Bye bye.